State senator has thrown a big wrench into Republicans' hopes of taking control of the Colorado Senate this November.
Republican Senator Kevin Priola switched his party affiliation last month to Democrat. In his first in-depth interview since making that decision, Priola talks about his decision and the fallout from it. Our political specialist Sean Boyd joins us with a story you will see only here on 4. And Sean, Republicans now trying to replace Priola.
Karen, 2 years after the party spent $2 million to help get him reelected, it's now on a mission to recall him. A recall Democrats are fighting in court. At issue is where the recall should take place after districts were redrawn last year. The new district lines take effect in January. Democrats say any recall should happen in Priola's current district, which leans Democrat. Republicans say it should happen in his new district, which leans Republican. A judge will decide. Meantime, Priola, who has voted with Democrats on several big issues over the last few years, says he has no regrets about his decision to leave the GOP.
I'm Kevin Priola. I'm your state senator.
For 15 years, State Senator Kevin Priola has campaigned as a Republican.
I can assume it's just pure politics.
Now he is campaigning against Republicans who have launched a recall effort after he left the party last month to become a Democrat.
And if you could tell others to not sign.
Priola cited Republicans' opposition to climate change legislation and support of Donald Trump after the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol as reasons for his decision. January 6th happened like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So why switch now?
What I wanted to do is give the party time to correct and kind of show the former president the door and move on. But the opposite happened.
All the election deniers on the ballot in Colorado lost. So how do you associate Colorado Republican Party with that?
Unfortunately, all Republicans are stained by the actions of one man.
But he deviates from Democrats on some big issues too, including guns, charter schools, and abortion. He's pro-life. Why not become unaffiliated?
I firmly believe that the Democrat Party is a big tent that wants to solve problems and fix things for the people of Colorado. And the Republican Party is about conspiracies and election lies and getting people to doubt our democratic institutions. And I can't be a part of that.
Did Democratic leadership promise you anything?
No.
But he offers them something big, a better chance at keeping control of the Senate, unless he is recalled. Because of redistricting, come January, he will represent a district that's more Republican. Shouldn't the new district be able to vote on whether they want a Republican or a Democrat to represent them?
Well, you know, I campaigned in 2020 and knocked on doors under the assumption that I was going to represent those people.
Those people being the ones in his current district, where he argues the recall should happen. However it goes down, Priola says he's at peace.
I have no regrets.
The Secretary of State's office approved the recall for the new district. A week from today, a Denver District Court judge will decide whether to overturn that decision. Because signatures are due November 8th, Republicans are already gathering them. They need 18,000 and say they are on track to reach that number. The election would likely happen late January, after the new districts take effect. Priola could resign before the election and allow Democrats to name a replacement. He wouldn't say whether he plans to do that. If he does, Republicans say they will just gather signatures to recall the next Democrat. So this could go on for a while, Jim.
Yeah, Sean, a lot for you to keep track of. Thank you so much. Well,